frame is, it's one long.
Okay, so first product is what we call a low switch. And it's an ultrasonic proximity detector with a variable distance. You can set it from 1 foot to 10 feet. The next thing is what we call the wave switch. Okay?
Yep.
And the wave switch is available in a couple of different options. One is just the switch itself. The second is with backlight LEDs. And what you see up here is a wave switch implemented with backlight LEDs. And instead of pressing a button or having to touch a pad with a wave switch, you merely wave your hand in front of it. It detects the fact that you waved your hand. Again, sends an instruction to the system to play a different video, change the lights, do whatever you want. It's a switch. What you do with that switch depends upon what you want to have happen. And you'll note that the background color of the wave switch changed, which gives a visual confirmation to the customer that I'm aware of the fact that you're asking me to do something.
Do you think, is it reasonable to say that somebody with a novice understanding of electronics could connect this stuff up? Or is it really something you're going to need somebody with some electronic skills to do?
Good question. Which brings us to the third product, which you can't see because it's behind the wall. This is our universal display controller. It's a microprocessor-based controller that accepts up to 6 switches, can control 6 devices like LEDs, etc., etc. It has 2 infrared ports, so if you need to control a device that will can only be controlled through an infrared signal. And it has a serial port for those pieces of electronic equipment that accept serial communication. The advantage to serial, of course, is that it's two-way. I talk to you, you can talk back to me. IR, I can tell you something, but you can't communicate back to me.
Right.
$60. What happens here is, if you want to implement this technology, you sit down with us, or we talk on the phone. You define for us what the customer engagement model is. I want to use a hello switch. I want 4 wave switches. I want a video monitor. I want a media player. Here are my video files. We program the whole package up for you. We deliver it to you. And all you have to do is plug everything in. Different color LEDs around the edge, which are optional. You don't have to use them. But if you want, for example, to have this covered up by a graphic, backlit in a certain color, and have it switch to a different color when you selected it, you can do so. You can also have these flashing.
Which part of the system is that again, Paul? Which one of the components?
That's the wave switch. Wave switch because it's just wave back.
Yep.
This little wave portion actually is popular with museums now, where they have the big displays with all different points of interest, and the kids just kind of.
Very nice.
The third piece of the technology in here, and this is behind the scenes, is what we call our universal controller.
Okay.
If you've done displays before, you probably know how hard it is to integrate switches and LEDs and video and media players and everything else. $60 solves your problem.
Really?
It's got 6 inputs, 6 outputs. The inputs can be any switch you want. It can be a hello switch, it can be a wave switch, it can be anybody's push button, whatever you want. The output can control anything you want. Could be the different color LEDs on a wave switch. Could be an entire wall. Could be the house lights.
Understood.
Running water, start motors, do whatever you want. There's two IR emitter outputs for controlling devices like a monitor. Require an IR control. And there's a serial TTL port for devices that will accept serial data.
So total components we're looking at right here in terms of dollars.
60, 120, plus, well, excluding the monitor, less than $300.
And you said the monitor is fairly reasonable for something that size.
Monitor with a built-in media player runs 160 to 180. You want to go to a larger display, the monitor price actually goes down.
Really?
Yeah, I can sell you a 19-inch flat panel display for about $120. Now I have to throw in the external media player, which is $95.
So $500 or so, you're good to go.
Good to go with a complete working 19-inch display, plug and play. All of your media, by the way, is on an SD card. All of your video files just either plugs into the side of the monitor or plugs into the media player inside the display. That's pretty much it.
I like the little story you told about the hello switch that you said they
The
were.
goodbye switch?
Yeah.
We developed this, which is why we nicknamed it the hello switch. We always had this frustration. People would design displays, and customers like yourself would come up and stand there and say, what do I do? So well, this was stupid. So we come up with this hello switch. It sees you standing there and it says, hello. You know, would you like to see a demonstration? Or good morning. It does something. Video changes, lights around it change, somehow or other it recognizes your presence and it draws you in. We call that the hook. We have one client, Bose Corporation, that was very interested in this, and they had a complaint from a certain big box retailer. The big box retailer was mad at them because when their displays were playing, they would play for 60 seconds. Bose is a hi-fi company. They make a lot of noise. So a customer would come up, press the button, trigger the display, watch it for 10 seconds and walk away. And the floor salespeople had to listen to the other 50 seconds by themselves 200 times a day. And so the big box retailer said, you have to come up with a way to reset your display if the customer walks away. It does exactly the same thing. Watch this. Okay, so it's going to display a video as if we were a customer. The hell with it. We've changed our minds. Come on over here for a second. 5 seconds later,
Solves the problem.
Right.